Welcome my fabulous diamond painting fanatics. I'm DiDi and thanks for joining me for today's drill with me. And I know I've been absent lately, I know, and this week I'm gonna tell you why. Because life's been crazy. It's been crazy. But I'm working on my very first diamond art club, and I know not everybody is gonna agree with me today. But this kit, already it was some of the older stash. I got it at a BOGO sale, but the gapping is insane. It's driving me nuts. It is so bad. In fact, when I use my six placer, yes, I started using a six placer. When I use it and I play six, I actually have room for just about an entire extra diamond, even though there are only 6 spots. So the diamonds just seem to be a bit too small. They're not popping, so that's good, but there's so much room that they can't be popping. I've tried everything, but there's just too much space in between them. And I can't get it out, so that's a bit disappointing, but so far it's looking good, besides the little hiccups I had with the gapping. It's looking good, and I've actually progressed almost to the bottom. And I know usually I work in a small section, but with the clear cover I tend to work in rows. Just because that's a bit easier. That way I don't have to cut my clear cover. So yeah, it's been going a bit faster than usual because I don't have to do a lot of color change, because my sections are a bit bigger. Since last drill with me, you saw me working on the pink flowers. Rachel Ray is also working on, and I finished it during the session. After that I did a quick in-between project, which you will see in a post review, I think somewhere in the upcoming weeks. I did film it today, so it should be up somewhere soon. And today I filmed my second order from DAC. I got myself a birthday present, so I filmed that as well. And I've been working on Project Wish, and Project Wish is a project where I order larger canvases from Wish, trying to see whether or not the quality is worth paying a bit more. So that will be up soon. Well, soon. You still haven't gone through my last set of orders from the AliExpress anniversary sales, so yeah. And to be quite honest, I haven't edited them all. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, editing and working, and work has been crazy. A lot of my colleagues are switching jobs, which means we have a lot of new people coming in, and not all of them are really that fast. And with them not being fast, it comes down to me working late, working extremely fast, working, yeah, just running all over the place constantly, while someone is doing 3 hours on one single patient and doing nothing besides that. So yeah, that's a bit frustrating. Having some colleagues that do not understand a busy ER, and that when it's busy, sorry, but you just run, and the moment you've seen your patient, you just type in the bare necessities and then move on to the next one, so you can do your administration stuff later. And with all of that, it's been more frequent that I've been working late, making a lot of extra hours to cover for my well, actually finishing my own administration. But since there was one night I did 10 patients and my colleague did 4. We worked the exact same hours. So that was pretty awful. And then I had shifts of, well, strains of work days that just were insane. So I would do 5 shifts in a row, have a day off, do 4 more, have a day off, do an evening shift and then 4 night shifts, have 2 days off, including the day that I came out of my night shift. And that's all fine when you actually manage to switch back to normal routine, because apparently after 2 days you should be able to work and be ready at 8 in the morning. Well, I wasn't that effective. I was cranky as hell. So bad so that even my colleagues noticed that I wasn't myself. Normally I'm quite enthusiastic, teaching people stuff, all that kind of stuff, but oh, my brain wasn't working. It simply wasn't working. And with that we got 4 more new colleagues, and one was so bad that he actually got fired in 1.5 weeks. That guy, he was older, so the hospital he used to work at was closing, and he wanted to work out the remaining days of his career in our ER. Well, I think my grandpa was faster trying to understand the iPad than that colleague was in trying to understand how to prescribe medicine. So his documentation was so bad that the next day I had to see one of his patients and I had no clue what was going on. He used all kinds of abbreviations, lots of typos. It was horrible. And then I had to try to explain him how to prescribe medicine in our electronic system. So I gave him the most basic medication to start with, something we prescribe a gazillion times a day. And I told him, all right, I just showed you how to do it, so there you go. Give this patient a prescription in the system for the painkiller, the basic painkiller. And he looked at me, well, what button should I use? I was like, I just explained, but that button there, the large one that says prescribe. So, all right, so he did it. And then, now what? Well, I just explained, then you type in the medication you need and you select it. And so he typed in the medication name, And then you get a drop down menu because it's a medication we use. We have in multiple doses. It's commonly used in children, so we have all kinds of children's doses, and then you have medication to give in drip or give it rectally or orally. We have it in a liquid form. Name it, you've got it. And it was a normal adult, nothing special. So his response, yes, and which one should I pick? I said, well, you're the doctor, figure it out. Not very kind of me, but trust me, by that time he had been... Actually, I had to point at the screen each time he had to click something, because he couldn't find it, or he was so slow in doing it that I was at the point of just ripping the mouse out of his hand. And do you call it a mouse as well? The thing that you use for the computer to move the cursor over the screen, we call it a mouse. And I hope you guys do as well. Otherwise, you learn something. We call it a mouse. But anyway, so it was insane. When my grandpa was trying to learn how to use an iPad, there are some things that for us, having grown up with a computer, laptop, all that kind of stuff, you know, when you need to fill in a username and a password, you need to click on the password section to actually type in the password in the right area. Well, that's not that, apparently not that obvious if you've never done it before. So when my grandpa got the iPad, he got it because my cousin moved to the States and she was pregnant, and they made a website where they put on the photos, and of course they sent an iPad to my grandpa and grandma, so they could actually visit the website, and they made a Facebook as well, and so they could chat and do Skype and all that kind of stuff. So that's very fun. But then, of course, trying to explain an iPad to a 83-year-old, I think my grandpa was 83 at the time. Yeah, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. So yeah, I actually wrote directions in click that button. So press down on that button, wait for it to open, and going like that. So not something, steps you never thought that would be difficult, they were difficult. Well, my grandpa picked it up faster than my colleague, and that's someone who has to work with computers every day, because he came from a hospital, and there's not a single hospital in the Netherlands that doesn't use a computer as ways of making your dossier about a patient. So every note goes into the system, all your colleagues can see it, there's no harm in writing badly because, well, it's all electronic. So yeah, he should have worked with something before, and of course every hospital has another system, and it takes some time getting used to a new system. But having had an entire course, so it's an entire afternoon when you start trying to figure out how the system works, then there's an entire course on how to prescribe medicine during that day and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's a lot of things that are explained during your first day, an hour long. And then I saw him on his fourth day, and he still could not do it. And actually, my bosses that day were colleagues I worked with in a previous hospital before, and I've got a bit of a temper. I don't have patience for that kind of stuff, not when it's a busy ER and I'm running my butts off and someone's actually not putting in the effort. It would be so bad that I would actually tell him, write this. And then he would write something completely different. Completely different. So yeah, bit frustrating. And then trying to teach some interns stuff in between. It's been so bad that I actually didn't see any patient entirely myself. I just supervised my interns for 2 days straight. So yeah, it's been insane. Work hours, hardly any rest in between. And then to further my career, I'm organizing a run. We do it all the emergency departments, and we try to raise money for research in the emergency department, because there's a lot to be gained from good research, and so I'm organizing that. I have to be at the hospital every Thursday morning, even when I'm off and I don't get the hours back. It's educational purposes. It's all good and well, but when it's your only day off in the entire week, things might get a bit tiresome. Just a tad, tiny bit. So yeah, it's been like that, but we had some super fun thing with the study group that last Thursday. We went to one of our military camps. We don't have a lot of them, but there's one close to the hospital I work in, and they allowed us to use their obstacle course. We got taught in the ways they do their triage, do the battle life support, the types of injuries they see more often than we do. I got to see one of their ambulances, which is massive. It's massive. It's like when that thing comes to you riding, I think my first instinct would be to run from it, but apparently that's our ambulance or their ambulance. And then we got to work out on the obstacle course, which was very fun because we got some very good looking instructors. So that was pretty awesome. I know now I'm definitely I'm not made for obstacle courses. Simply because I bruise easily. I don't think I've ever been as blue as I am at this point. We had to do a cat crawl and a monkey crawl over some ropes, thick ropes. And I didn't even have to do the entire length. I just needed to try it out. And well, I did try, and the monkey crawl didn't go as fast as I would like, but I managed to get up, which was a surprise for me. Then we had to So first you're hanging upside down on the rope, climbing, and then you need to turn while on the rope, so you're lying on top of it. Yeah, that thing is quite high up in the air. It was over 2 meters high, so all right. And then I had to try and maneuver myself on top. So, well, let's say my mobility is challenged to the extent that I'm pretty good, fine motor skills. The larger motor skills, it takes me a while. I can do it, but it takes me a while to get a hang of it. So I was trying, and by the time I got off, I felt the burn on my thighs, and I was like, that's not good. That's not good. That's gonna bruise. But oh well. Moving on. We had some instructions about some of the things they had there, and then we had to run. And apparently there were patients stationed around the obstacle course. So we had dolls lying there who had a problem, and as a team we needed to save their lives, which was actually pretty fun to do, because we did get a backpack with supplies, and not your typical supplies, just some makeshift stuff. So that was actually very fun to do, but then we had to transport our patient over the obstacle course while running, because we needed to win and beat the other team, because there would be repercussions if we for the losers. And our instructors were laughing while they said it. Being blue already, I knew it wasn't going to be something fun, and I think all of my teammates knew that as well. So we ran our ass off. We did win, so that's a good thing. And it's pretty. They were doing some shooting exercises, not on the same field, but close by, so you could hear the gunfire. You could actually get a feel for what it would be, kind of what it would be like having the gunfires quite close to you, knowing that they're not aimed at you, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it was fun. We really had fun. And then that evening we had a farewell dinner for some of my old colleagues. So by that time I was spent, I was exhausted, and it was the only day off in between 4 and 5 shifts. So yeah, Friday morning wasn't my finest again. The weekend went well. I had day shifts, so that was something. Normally I do not like day shifts, but now I was fine. I was home at a decent hour. I got to actually do some other stuff as well. So I diamond painted, of course. And then yesterday, well, yesterday is a new low. So apparently I took over a shift from one of my colleagues. Well, I completely forgot about it, and I planned my training session with the boss. And on my way back, I get a phone call from my colleague. He's like, are you still en route? I was like, yes, I'm en route, but not to the hospital. I'm off today. No, according to the roster, you have an evening shift. They called me in half an hour after my shift had started. I was all sweaty, on my way home. It is normally an hour's drive to the place I work in. So yeah, I was gonna be extremely late, but I was there, well, half an hour after he called me, an hour after he called me. So I think I did quite alright. I was an hour and a half late, but in my defense, I worked the day before. I worked 2 hours late, so I did not have to write down the last hours that I didn't work. So I rushed to work. Didn't have any food at home. I had to do the groceries, and I planned to do that after working out. But yeah, went to work without any food. Hadn't lunched yet. And then I get at my work, and there are 10 doctors there. The evening shift is double placed, so there are 3 doctors for the evening shift, the shift that I was supposed to work as well. And I'm looking at my boss, and he's like, "Oh, I'm kind of feeling sorry for you right now." I was like, "But I'm late." "Yeah, but there was nothing to do, and we had 10 doctors, so it's fine, it's fine. Sometimes these things happen." Thank God it wasn't extremely busy. I would have been so embarrassed. So yeah, and today is my only day off until this weekend, and today is Tuesday, so I have to work 3 days. I have one day from 9 till 11. Because of course it is a Thursday and I have an evening shift afterwards, so yay. And then I have to do 3 night shifts, only 3, so Monday till Wednesday, and on Thursday I'm going to see Muse. My sister gave me tickets for the concert, so that's so much fun, and I'm so glad she gave me those. Really excited and going, and yeah, I got some awesome birthday gifts this year. So I don't really celebrate my birthday. I don't really put that much value in it, but thank you all who congratulated me for my birthday. Thank you, it really meant a lot. But not really celebrating it means I hardly ever invite people over, but some of my friends insisted that they would do some wine. Who can say no to wine? So yeah, it's they gave me a gift card for my hairdresser, which is a good thing, but because apparently I haven't been to the hairdresser in 38 weeks. Alright, my hair is very long and it doesn't need to be cut every single week, but it is time. It is time. So yeah, I'm gonna be planning that somewhere next week. I think I'll do it on a Friday. That's a good reason to get up. Oh well, no, I need to try and work out today. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. I'll see if they have a spot for me. But yeah, that's awesome. My parents are gonna ship in because I'm getting new chairs for my dining room. Well, my dining table. I don't really have a dining room. I have a dining room, living room, kitchen, all in one. So yeah, I'm replacing the chairs I got, and I found some pretty ones, but they're pretty expensive, of course. Let's just put it at that the 4 chairs I've got now cost less than one of those chairs, and I need 4, of course. So yeah, that's gonna be quite a big chunk out of my budget. But it is time. There are 2 chairs you can't sit on right now because the seat keeps falling off, and since I'm alone I don't really realize that often, but when you have guests it is kind of embarrassing when your chair simply falls apart. So yeah, new chairs. My brother-in-law and my parents are gonna chip in, so the money they would usually spend on my birthday gift, they're gonna give it and help me for the chairs, so that's good. My brother-in-law gave me happy socks. He knows I love my socks, and today I've been doing the laundry, and having that many socks, I had an entire load of socks to wash, and it's so bad that I think I have 30 pairs right now. So yeah, it's there's quite a while that can go by before I run out of socks, and I change my socks every single day. So that's pretty insane. Well. But he really thought about it, and they gave me an awesome card that lights up and it sings, so that's fun. And yeah, it's just, I really love the socks. I don't need expensive gifts. It's not something I'm needing to have. So socks, they're fine. Yeah, and then I gave myself 2 diamond art clubs. So pretty decent birthday gifts this year. What's else been going on? Oh well, I had a date. The date went like an interview, job interview. To give him credit, I was probably a bit cranky because I did not turn out of my night shift at all. So I had spent 5 hours during that night looking at the ceiling. I just worked out. And yeah. Didn't have dinner yet. And then he started interviewing me. Questions like, you seem like quite a perfectionistic person. Do you expect others to be that as well? Excuse me? Yeah, so that wasn't a success. He wasn't my type physically, and with those questions, no. So there was not gonna be a second date. And I have been diamond painting, of course. Been watching a lot of documentaries lately. Mostly history. I love listening to history documentaries while I'm diamond painting, and I found an old TV show they have on YouTube now, and I used to watch it. I think it was on National Geographic. At least they showed it on National Geographic. And it is Time Team. And yeah, it's just fun. I really enjoy watching those series. So been doing that. I haven't been that much listening to all you guys who put content out of there, because my mind wasn't on it. I needed to zone out completely to stop me from going crazy. Yeah, I've been a bit on edge. I think that's the best way to put it. And I think all of the colleagues are feeling it, because there are, with all the new people, some colleagues really need to work extra shifts to get some things and shifts covered. And since we're more experienced, we get the more more extensive and difficult cases, which means we got to do more work on more patients that are also more difficult and time consuming. So yes, we're happy that we're allowed to do it, because it's a good way to learn, but it would be nice if you could learn without having to feel stretched. You can't really give your patients all the attention you need. They need, well, I need, they need, when you're running against the clock. Constantly moving from one patient to the other and going on. We've got problems in the hospital, or problems. Apparently there are a lot of sick people at the moment, to the extent that we can't admit any patients, which means we had to transfer them. So patients would be waiting on an ambulance, which of course we're busy picking up more patients that we needed to see, but patients were getting in and nothing was going out, so no more room for the patients. Yes, joy. So yeah, I think all of us have been feeling it. Luckily nothing major happens in the last couple of days, so it's getting better. And we always have diamond painting, so good way to zone out and just relax, relieve some of that stress. Much better than stretching. My trainer had me stretch yesterday, and it was so painful that there were actually tears running down my face. Luckily he didn't see it, because I was sweating as well. And to be quite honest, I think I need to do it again, because I always cramp up in some areas, and I think that it would be wise if I stretched some more. But just the thought of enduring that pain, not really something that I would love to endure anymore. And I know today's drill with me is a bit of a rambling one. I need to figure out a new subject. I also need to figure out a new canvas to work on. What should it be? Ooh, we'll do the ballet dancers. Yeah, I think I've got 3 canvases of a ballerina. I got the black and white one from Yiwu Diamond Painting, if I'm correct. I got an oil painting of a ballerina, and I got the watercolor ballerina I just got from the whole official store. I'll place the images down below and you help me pick, or well, down below I'll insert them. So one is going to be the black and white ballerina. Two is going to be the oil painting ballerina. And 3 is going to be the ballerina, watercolor ballerina I just unboxed recently. So vote down below which one I should work on next. Most votes count, and probably I'll do a little in-betweener in between this one and the other one. And most likely I'll be done with this canvas long before you all have voted. And let's say that voting closes at Sunday. So on Sunday I'll count all the votes and see what I'm gonna work on next. I think all 3 canvases are gorgeous. And I just need some help working on picking them because my stash is getting insane. It's getting insane. One of the other reasons why I've been doing some small in-betweeners as well. Just to make sure that my stash gets a bit smaller. Because it was pretty hard to hide from my parents when they were here for my birthday. I don't think they would agree with me on spending all that money on diamond paintings, but oh well, I'm a grown-up woman. I can do what I want. I could even reveal myself, no pun intended, but I think she's turning out pretty good, especially in the viewfinder. I really like the shading in the viewfinder. Seeing the nerve of her back going down here. It would have looked better if it was just two, if it was a true 40 by 40. But this is more 35 by 35. If it was a 40 by 40, it would have looked better, but we can't have it all. We can't have it all. And I really hope that you didn't really mind my rant about work and stress and all that kind of fun stuff. Sorry, that's just why I've been absent. You can imagine, right? But I do need your help picking my new canvas, so vote for the ballerinas. Black and white, the oil painting, or the aquarelle one. 1, 2, 3. Just place the number and I'll see what I'll be doing. I'm very curious. I would like to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hit like if you like this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Yeah, my next video. I hope it'll be up on Friday, because I've got a post review to show you. So I hope I'll get everything set up before Friday, but who knows, I'm gonna try. With all that said, happy drilling!